In the chaos of World War II, one secret unit used no bullets, no bombs, and no bloodshed. Instead, they fought with paint, sound, and illusion. This is the incredible story of the Ghost Army, America's top secret weapon of deception. While other soldiers took up arms, this unique group waged psychological warfare in the shadows. Formed in 1944, the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, nicknamed the Ghost Army, was made up of artists, actors, designers, and sound engineers. These weren't your typical soldiers. Their mission was as bold as it was bizarre: to impersonate entire divisions of the U.S. Army and fool the Germans into believing fake invasions were real. It was a gamble, but a necessary one to protect the lives of real combat troops. Using inflatable tanks, phony radio transmissions, and powerful sound effects, they could simulate the presence of 30,000 troops, when in reality, there were only about 1,100 of them. That's right, just over 1,000 men tasked with fooling an entire Nazi army. It sounds like a movie, but it was very real. The Ghost Army's deception tactics fell into 4 categories: visual, sonic, radio, and atmosphere. Each one was meticulously planned and perfectly executed. Visually, they used rubber tanks, dummy aircraft, and false motor pools. These decoys looked real from the air and fooled German scouts on the ground. Even up close, under the right lighting, it was hard to tell the difference. Soldiers painted fake tread marks and even wore different uniforms to complete the illusion. Sonic deception involved blasting recorded sounds of tanks moving, soldiers marching, and construction, customized to match the terrain. These sounds were broadcast using powerful speakers mounted on vehicles. The effects could be heard from over 15 miles away, luring the enemy in the wrong direction. They also used radio deception. Skilled operators mimicked Morse code and radio chatter from real units to throw off German intelligence. These messages were timed to match fake troop movements and often included made-up conversations that enemy eavesdroppers would overhear and report. One of their most successful missions was Operation Brest. The Ghost Army diverted German attention, making them believe a full American division was preparing to attack elsewhere, buying time for real forces to regroup. This was more than a distraction. It was a strategic maneuver that saved lives. In Operation Viersen, just before the Rhine River crossing, they tricked the Germans into thinking the U.S. Ninth Army would attack in the north. In reality, the real offensive was to the south. It worked and saved countless lives. Once again, illusion proved stronger than brute force. They knew that if they were discovered, they'd be killed immediately. The Geneva Convention didn't cover inflatable tanks, but they kept going because every deception meant fewer real soldiers in harm's way. That was their silent oath. Many Ghost Army members went on to become famous in the arts world. Fashion designer Bill Blass, painter Ellsworth Kelly, and wildlife illustrator Arthur Singer were among them. These men brought a different kind of talent to the battlefield, one rooted in imagination, vision, and creativity. They brought creativity to the battlefield, proving that imagination could be a weapon just as powerful as any rifle. Their sketches and designs weren't just art, they were strategic tools that fooled some of the best-trained military minds in Europe. Their story remained classified for over 40 years. Most Americans had never heard of the Ghost Army until the 1990s. Even family members of the soldiers had no idea what their loved ones had done during the war. It wasn't until decades later that their contributions were publicly recognized and their courage honored. Documentaries, books, and interviews began to reveal just how vital their role had been. The Ghost Army saved lives through deception. They didn't fire weapons, but their battles were just as real and just as brave. Their courage lay in their ability to outwit, outmaneuver, and outcreate the enemy. In 2022, the Ghost Army was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal for their extraordinary service. Their legacy reminds us that in war, creativity can be just as heroic as courage. Today, they serve as a testament to the power of art and innovation in even the darkest times. Thank you for watching. For more untold stories from history, subscribe to History Fanatic.